Hello, hello, beautiful souls. This is Esther, also known as schmeksipants. Welcome back to my channel. I thought today I would do a little bit of a midweek love reading pick a pile, especially with Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde, and we're still in the shadow phase of the full moon. I thought that maybe some messages were needed, and so if you like this type of reading, please like, comment, share, subscribe. It really does help me and the channel, and it helps me know what types of readings. So anyway, let's get into it. So if you're drawn to pile 1, there's the red leaf. Pile 2, we have this little green flower. And pile 3, we have the brown leaf. So maybe take a moment, see which pile resonates most with you. Maybe pause the video, and then when you're ready, I will meet you back here. Okay, so let's get into pile 1. So for pile 1, we have that red leaf. And our oracle card is shielding. Let's find out more about this. Where you need to shield your energy, where others are being shielded. I get the sense that maybe you're being protected from something, but let's see what the tarot has to say. So love messages for pile 1. What would it help pile 1 to know? Okay, we have a few cards come up. So we have the 8 of Cups reversed. So I feel like revisiting is going to be a theme. You know, typically 8 of Cups, it's like walking away from something, but it's almost like the cups are pouring out. I get the sense that maybe somebody walked away, but it's not because they didn't feel for you. It's because there was this protection needed, this shielding, shielding you from some truth maybe. Yeah. So especially with this Chariot here, I feel like there's going to be a return, but I'm really noticing this kind of black and white of these horses here. There's going to be a need to balance out kind of your polarities, your masculine and feminine. And what I mean by that has nothing really to do with gender. It's more the masculine polarity is about action, and the feminine polarity is more about, you know, calm, receiving. So if you've been too much in one or the other, there's going to be a need to balance that out to get that chariot moving. Because I do see that there's almost like either a reconciliation or a deepening of a bond. You see these hands coming in here, and this 2, but it's almost like you don't see the full story yet. But it is coming, and there's going to be that beautiful mirroring. I'm also really noticing this feather in the cap. So aside from divine guidance, it's almost like it's a sign that you're on the right path, even if it doesn't kind of seem that way. Because I feel like you have everything you need to call in this love and also to be steady within yourself. But it's almost like there's a little bit of hope that was lost. I feel like maybe there was some sort of conflict recently that kind of caused this. I feel like true feelings, true emotions not being shown. I feel like there's a lot that's been hidden, but it doesn't mean that there isn't real passion and real kind of support there. I'm noticing also a lot of red and oranges in these cards. So I feel like there is that passion there, and there will be this kind of beautiful reconciliation. I'm noticing again the flowers, purity, love, but it's really about getting steady in yourself. So again, if you've been go, go, go action, what would it feel like to receive? Putting yourself in that state. And maybe if you've been taking, you know, giving is important too. So it's that balance that is necessary. Let's see if we can find a few more messages to clarify for pile 1. Ooh, so many. So when all these cards come up, again, I notice a lot of passion, a lot of energy is here, a lot behind the scenes. Okay, I'm going to take all of these. It's a lot. So I feel like, again, that kind of mirrors that 8 of Cups reversed. It's this 9 of Cups reversed. So 9 of Cups is typically a wish fulfillment. So it's almost like you didn't get what you wanted, but I don't feel that things are over. I feel that it's, yeah, there's this need to rest. There's an expectation of action, and it's almost kind of like you're not seeing things for what they really are. You're not seeing things you know, there's a need for this guarding to let go and to come back to a place of balance, to stop waiting and to focus on yourself. Because when that does happen, there will be a stubbornness that needs to be released before these cards can be upright. It's this kind of the unbalance, this fighting mode, this mental strain. There's too many things going on that, you know, it's almost like you're creating not just a shield but a block by overthinking, which is very common, when you're in these emotionally charged spaces. It's very easy to overthink and to not just allow. So the universe is almost like shielding you from yourself and blocking you from yourself. But, it doesn't mean that things won't be resurrected. And I just noticed 555 on the timestamp as I'm recording. So I feel truly things can be reconciled, things will be resurrected, but not until you kind of let that go, that overthinking, that pressure. And if you've been walking away, great, but it's really time to pour into yourself so that when you come to these spaces in love, that you can really show up in your authenticity. And, people will love you for who you are, not for who you kind of, like, for who you truly are. Yeah. Because again, I feel like there's this like lack of faith that needs to be dealt with. Now, on the other side of this, what's going to happen once we take action? Yeah. Temperance. And I feel like it'll be a two-way street, and that will happen. It's just kind of getting yourself steady. I'm really noticing that the foot in the water here, it's almost like a purification. If you can come back to it as new, from a higher perspective, there's this healing that needs to happen, because you can't pour from an empty cup, but also you want it to be that reciprocal thing. Temperance I often view very much as like a twin flame card. There needs to be that full trust and loving yourself. Now, does that mean you can't have bad days or bad news or a bad mood? Absolutely not. It just means that, you're trusting in yourself and your ability to move forward, your ability to receive, your ability to be vulnerable and of yourself. I want to check the bottom of the deck. Yeah. When you stop focusing on the past, it's almost like this deceptive energy. When you stop focusing on the past, that's when you can kind of call this in. Being open to new experiences. And on the top of the deck, yeah, letting your guard down. Truly letting your guard down and trusting that it will be okay, that you don't have to be cold. I also, again, with the red, aside from passion, I'm really noticing if there's something that happened that made you really frustrated and angry, it's going to be important to really listen to the other person's side, and then you can decide whether you want to forgive or not. But I feel like with this pile, there's a big piece of it is forgiveness is needed and authenticity is needed. And the best way you can do that is to heal yourself and to work on that. And also putting up safe boundaries. Maybe some people aren't safe, but I feel like there's always love available to us. It's just kind of what we want to call in. So, yeah. I pulled an affirmation card we got. I embrace my creative, playful side. I really think that that would support you in kind of knowing what you need for yourself first and foremost. I feel like if everything's been really serious lately and there's been this kind of obsessive thinking or this, just this not allowing, getting into a state of creativity and play, whatever that means for you, can be anything from, cooking to sports to actually making art. When you play, you allow, you put yourself into a receptive mode. It doesn't have this kind of resistance in that same way. It allows you to take that leap of faith and have fun. So I really hope that that helps, pile one. I'm sorry, it was a little bit heavy, but you're on the right path. It's just going to be a little bit about letting go of that ego side. So thank you, pile one. I hope you have a beautiful day. Okay, Pile 2, let's get into it. So for pile 2, we had that green flower, and we have the oracle card. You are not alone. How beautiful. I'm really noticing this this candle here. So maybe setting intentions. Anytime that you maybe are feeling alone, feeling lonely, lighting a candle and setting an intention, you know, spending some time in prayer, I think that that would really comfort you right now. So let's find out more about what your love life entails, along with that you are not alone. Let's see, what does pile 2 need to know this week? Okay, wow. Okay, so I feel like it's almost like there's this illusion here, this mask, being afraid not to choose right. But I feel like if you go with your gut, your heart, and your soul, you'll know when this person comes. I feel like there will be somebody really steady and grounded. You won't need to look too far. You won't need to think too hard about it. You'll just know where this kind of abundance is. I feel like, there's a need to really get steady in yourself. And I'm also really feeling, again, this came up a little bit in pile 1, but the need to let go of the past, because I feel like this is what's creating any illusions. The person that you're thinking of, I really get the sense that they are your person, but it's a matter of maybe there's a little bit of growth that still needs to happen for everything to come to fruition for that. But I get the sense truly that it's much, very much that phrase that what you seek is seeking you. It's just kind of everything's on God's time, not in your time, which, I know the collective loves to hear, but oh wow, that one flew out. Let's take it. Yeah, justice will be served. This is beautiful. Again, you're not going to have to work so hard. The scales will be balanced. There will be that integration. I feel like in this moment, it's like what makes you feel luxurious and sure of yourself, because that will help you gain clarity on this and not give into those fears, illusions. Because I get the sense that it's really, things are going to work out better than you think. You aren't alone. You have a whole team of divine guidance on you. And of course, you have your friends in real life. I will guide you that, not everybody necessarily has your best interest at heart. So it's truly about, finding where the truth is for you and for what you want. So that's so funny. Some of these cards did come up in the last reading, and they did also come up reversed. So I feel like there's a lot of fear in the collective right now, or a lot of standstill. And again, some of that can be because of the retrogrades that we're facing now, and because of those full moon shadow aspects. Again, I feel like right now we're all just being called to have more faith, to not lose hope that these things can happen. Setbacks, they're not meant to hurt us. They're meant for us to go inward and to reflect on ourselves. Yeah, I really get it's just kind of like if something has happened, a fallout or whatever, and there's a loss of faith, lean into your faith for yourself. Lean into other things. A lot of different motivational speakers and channels talk about kind of if one thing is not going right, focus on something else, and then everything else will kind of follow. And I really feel that that's true. So maybe focusing on other aspects, not even for the moral desert of having your love life turn around, but just so that you will feel more empowered. You will feel less alone. You will feel, if there was a betrayal, you will feel less betrayed because you'll still see all the other blessings in your life. Yeah. Because I feel like this is a period right now where you need to put your mind at ease. Once when you're restless, you can move forward, but it's almost like an aggressive energy, like a pushy energy. And it would be better to have the opposite. Let yourself be at ease, focus on the positives, and things will come in, maybe not as fast as you want, but they'll come in and have this kind of more stable energy than this fiery, passionate burnout energy that also isn't necessarily the clearest. You want the longevity. If we're talking about love, I mean, instant gratification is nice and all, but the longevity is really what you want. You want this kind of justice where you feel that things are balanced, where you can feel free to be yourself and, you know, to maintain those boundaries in relationship. Yeah, I feel like what's coming is going to be better. Yeah. I feel like it's almost like there's been some immaturity, and that's where there's been the lack of clarity. And it could be on your part or on your counterpart's part, but I feel like there's this want to race in, and it's almost just like, let the smoke clear first. Let the smoke clear first. Focus on yourself. Focus on your higher power. Focus on your career. You know, focus on areas that will make you feel whole, because these energies, they do want to come in. But it's, again, like, I think the big lesson across the board here today is allowing. Yeah, because how can you see what's being offered if you're always kind of in that guarded fight mode? You know, looking to the past, looking for things that went wrong. If you're too shielded, it's one thing to have boundaries, it's another to kind of block yourself because you're so shielded. Let's see, one more message for pile 2. What's going to happen after these retrogrades is maybe a better way to see. Yeah, you're going to drop your guard. You're going to drop your guard and things will feel better. There won't be that kind of brick wall holding you back. And wow, that's amazing. There will be that harvest, that celebration. And I'm really getting right now, if you can focus on community and how you serve, that will be really helpful. And what I mean by serve is if there's some way that you can help a friend, if you can give donations, if you can just be in that spot where somebody can call on you, you can share your knowledge somehow maybe. I think that that will bring in more celebrations, and it will be this like opening. It will place your mental energy somewhere else, and it will put you back in your heart from your mind. And that will really get you stable and then call in stability from others. So let's see if there's an affirmation that would support you, pile 2, as you do this. Affirmation for pile 2. I am open to receiving abundance in all forms. I love that, especially with what we've been talking about today. You know, abundance and love can come in so many different forms. It can come in the form of romantic love. It can come in the form of money, of job opportunities. So just be open to the love of the universe and know that you're not alone. And just beautiful things will pour in. And when they do pour in, really celebrate the heck out of them. You know, it's so easy to not celebrate, but it's that celebration, that beautiful energy of receptivity, of healing, that will call in even more. It will give you even more to celebrate. It will give you even more to be happy about. So that's your reading, pile 2. I hope that you have a beautiful day and that this resonated. And I will talk to you soon. Okay, pile 3. We have the brown leaf. And we have the affirmation card. Stay. Yes, let's find out more about stay. I really feel like you're being watched over and things are more intertwined. We had this message come up a few weeks ago, but I really feel like if things feel like they're done, they might not be done. Trust your intuition and your gut as always, but I feel like stay. And I also feel like it's really saying stay focused and positive on your goals. Stay, you know, in your higher attitude. Don't let, you know, physical disruptions really like derail you. Of course, if there's any sort of thing that you feel like you're done, focus on yourself. But I feel like it's going to be important to hold your ground right now. Hold your vision. What other messages can we get? That one wanted to fly out. That's so funny. Some of the same cards keep coming out. It's this Page of Swords. So I want to find out a little bit more about this Page of Swords before saying too much for this pile. Okay. Okay, so Page of Swords. Pages in general tend to be a little bit more of an immature energy. They're very green, they're very new, they're the youngest of the court cards. And so swords in general are about clarity, about mental energy. They're the fastest suit in the deck. So I feel like there was almost this like non-starter of a beginning because it's almost like it wasn't ready. And so that might have been what happened in your relationship. Lots of quick passion, but burned out quickly. But not to fear. Um, you know, the world is at your fingertips. I feel like whoever your person is, they do see you as being this incredibly abundant figure, and also that you're very much protected. You're watched over. Between those animals and figures here where you see divine guidance, you're watched over. Things will come full circle again. It's just almost like the cycle had to happen so that there could be more of a mature energy, less impulsive. So I'll go through the other cards, but it's funny that the last one that came out was this King of Cups. So much more emotional, much more mature, much more vulnerable. And it's almost kind of like I see this water here a little bit wavy, like weathered storms. I also am noticing this piece here almost looks like a snake on the armor. Snakes, shed their skins, they transform. They Kundalini awakenings happen within snakes. That's kind of symbolism. So I feel like there's this journey that whoever it is that you're thinking of, they do feel that your ultimate fulfillment, but it's almost kind of like with all these other cards, there's a journey that they have to go on their own. And this is where there might not have been that stability that's come in, but they're getting stable. They're getting stable. They're wanting, this, upside down 1111 is still 1111. It's almost just like this union was so close, but didn't quite, but it is coming. I do feel there is a union available, especially with that stay card. It's just about letting that journey happen. Yeah. Because again, they do view you as this kind of really almost magical creature, almost like you are the oracle. But you need to really get steady in your intuition. And it's so funny, with pile one, we had the chariot where I said I was really noticing the black and white horses. Here I'm noticing the pillars. So it's kind of like right now, what you can do to kind of help yourself is get really grounded in your energy, get really stable, in your intuition. Things won't be hidden forever. They won't be. It's just going to take a little bit of time, which is what I'm seeing for all the piles right now. But I mean, yeah, because the retrogrades, it's a time for slowing down and reevaluating. And I feel like you are going to come out on top. Yeah, that's so funny. So, I mean, if there was a conflict or even just a standstill right now, it's because things are closing out. You can't have a new beginning without ending sometimes. And that really sucks. It doesn't mean it's not painful, but I feel like whether it's a new person or this person that you're waiting on, it will really be up to you, but there will be that kind of maturing that needs to happen, this ego death theme that needs to happen. Sometimes, right when you think things are over, that's when you're about to harvest. So don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle. Just getting really assuring your intuition, knowing that these beautiful things want to come in. It's just that sometimes to build a really steady foundation, you can't be in that immature state. So whether it's the other person or you, where have you been immature? Where have you been impulsive? Where have you not been willing to show the truth of the matter for yourself? Where have you been kind of hiding behind a shroud? Once you kind of get steady in that, that's when spring can come. And I do get the fact that spring might be a really important time for some of you. There's also something I saw yesterday that I think would be really helpful for this pile, is that, it's fear when it looks right but feels wrong. It's intuition when it looks wrong but it feels right. And then what I came up with myself is, if it looks right and it feels right, that's when you're in alignment. So this is a very much a card of alignment. So I would say right now it's just about holding off. Yeah. And so I want to see one more card. That Two of Wands reverse peeked out a thing. Some of these cards shuffle and shuffle, but when a message wants to be seen, it will be. Yeah. I feel like the sense of there's like a garbage truck or a snowplow outside. I'm sorry if it's very noisy. There will be a need to drop this kind of stubbornness. There will be a need to drop this armor. And you can see with this Knight of Rods, I feel like there will be movement soon. It won't be this full-on emotional movement. It will be a little bit more passionate. I would say that, feel out what feels right for you. Knight of Rods sometimes can really be seen as player energy, but in this case, I don't really get that. I get it almost more as a progression of, be boundaried to an extent, but be open to listening to what your person has to say if they come back. Be open to the fact that they're maturing and that you're maturing. It's not always about, I don't want to say protect your heart, but it's just kind of about allow this person growth, allow forgiveness, hear them out, releasing your own stubbornness, watch them release their stubbornness. But, you can stay and be present in somebody's life without focusing all of your energy on them. And I think that will be really what helps both of you grow from this kind of like instability, immaturity, to a little bit of impulsive energy, a little bit of kind of more passion than anything, to a true emotional fulfillment. Yeah, I think things are gonna even out. It's just gonna be a progression that you will see. Yeah, but the balance is coming. Again, this is almost like it mirrors, where was the Justice card? Oh, maybe Justice came up for the last pile. Shows what I know. Okay, this mirrors very much in the last deck. I guess we had Justice. This mirrors that. So it's going to be about give and take. Again, I'm seeing a lot of these kind of mirrored aspects. Things will balance out. It's just a matter of time. And of course, maturity happens. It can happen overnight or it can take time, but I really feel like spring for this pile will be a thing. Well, wow, you got a lot of affirmations, pile 3. The other groups only got 1. So I give myself permission to succeed. So again, holding that vision. I am not afraid to ask for help. So if you're struggling with this, talking to a friend, talking to a therapist, even asking your counterpart what they need. If you're in relationship already, that might be helpful. Again, letting go of that stubbornness, letting go of that I have to do everything by myself mentality. I take care of my energy first. Yes. So again, this is very much, that need to put yourself first and then calling everything else in, allowing yourself to mature first. And then our last one is I don't make myself wrong for feeling what I feel. So again, if you truly feel that this is something that is aligned for you, trust your gut. Just know that it might take time, but that doesn't mean that you're wrong. Just because you can't see it in the physical doesn't mean it's not taking shape in general. So that's your message, pile 3. I hope that helps, and I hope that you have a beautiful day.